Hey, Pro Organizers, it's Melissa, and I am back with a very special edition of the podcast. And I can't wait for you to hear it. But I did want to start out really quickly with letting you know I am recording this on Sunday, August 23rd. The end of summer is coming. Maybe that's depressing for some of you. For people like me who are obsessed with fall, I'm very excited. I'm ready to stop sweating and ready to start putting on some sweaters. But summer's coming to an end, which also means that I always look at Labor Day as kind of a second New Year's Day. I've talked about this lots of times. And when you start to go into the fall, maybe the kids are back in school. I have dropped both of my daughters back at college. And it really makes people go, hey, it's time for me to buckle down and really start heading into that really important fall season. Lots of people love to organize when kids go back to school. And it helps you prepare even better for the new year, which will be here before we know it. So we are doing something that we have never ever done at Pro Organizer Studio. It's our 10th anniversary this year. And in honor of that, we're doing some really cool things with some of our programs. We're upgrading some of our programs and our communities, which is really the best part of being involved with Pro Organizer Studio. And I want you guys to be a part of that. Go to proorganizerstudio.com/links because we are going to be doing some special offers and sales on our programs, which we never ever do. I want you to be able to get in. Everything in life is really expensive right now, and I very much understand that. Two kids in college, I very much get that. Also, the other day, I'm grocery shopping and I was like, when did Diet Coke become $9 for a 12 pack? Come on, guys. This is ridiculous. So, everything in life is really expensive right now. And what I want to do is make sure that your business is as healthy as possible so that you can have a cushion, you can have that comfort, you can really thrive, make sure that you're paying your team members well, all of those things. We want to give you some special offers that are going to help you build your business, get a great community of organizers next to you, and really just get involved with some of the wonderful things we have going on. So please go to proorganizerstudio.com/links for all of the good stuff. Or you can email me hello@proorganizerstudio.com, and I would love to chat with you. All right, let's get started with my very, very special guest, who happens to be someone that I've known for her entire life. Here we go. All right, this is a very special edition of the Pro Organizer Studio podcast. If you are watching this on YouTube, you will see that the person next to me looks very familiar. She looks like I have cut and pasted myself, which I did. My daughter Emma is joining us today. And my dear friend, Cori from Meat and Potatoes, who's been on the podcast many times before. And I also just want to say that Emma is going to be making another family member very jealous today because I have always told my husband that he can come on the podcast one day. And he is apparently a little salty that you're here today. Is that fair, Emma?
Yeah, that's the rumor.
Yeah, so he's salty that you get on the podcast before him. But I just want to say, Cori and I are big fans of a different podcast. It's called the New Heights Podcast. And Jason Kelsey on that podcast, if you're not familiar with it, has an amazing way of introducing guests. And I told Cori that she could just absolutely take it away. So I just want to say, Cori, would you like to introduce our guest today?
I would absolutely love that. I am going to take it away. I am fully caffeinated. So here we go. I hope you are
Fantastic.
ready for the introduction from the University of Iowa Hawkeyes. We have the lovely Emma Klug, but I'm not done introducing yet, folks, because here's the thing. We have Emma who's joining us, and her mother, if you didn't know, literally represents the best of what we do in our industry. And I'm not just talking about professional organizing skills. This is a family legacy. They've got work ethic and genuine heart all rolled into it and mentoring you all along the way. So if you've been listening to Melissa's podcast for any amount of time, you know exactly who Melissa Klug is. She's the founder of Home by 11. She's a master certified professional organizer. She's the one of only 3 people in the entire state of Minnesota certified by the KonMari method. Basically, she's an absolute legend in this space. And here's the best part. Emma is her daughter.
He sure is.
So this summer, instead of just sitting around doing nothing, Emma decided to come work with us at Meat and Potatoes Organizing as an assistant organizer, and I could not be more thrilled. So let me tell you, she came in and she was ready to work. From day one, Emma showed up in the perfect combination of organized and efficient, warm and genuinely personable, and she's the kind of quick learner who just gets it. She's been there on projects with our team, working with our clients, learning the ins and outs of what we do every single day. And our team absolutely loves and adores her. What I love most about having Emma here this summer is watching her experience firsthand and what it really takes to build business like ours or like her mom's. She's not just learning organizing technique, she's learning about relationships, client care, the hustle, the heart, the dirty, the clean, the luxury, the not luxury, the cat pee. And she's watching how we run our team and how we handle projects. And I think that just for a college kiddo, that's some great experience to see no matter what you do in your future. So I hope she takes all of this back to Iowa with her. And Melissa, having your daughter on the team has been such a gift for all of us. And we are so thankful that you shared her with us. Join me in giving the biggest, warmest welcome to someone who's going to be shaping the future of organizing, whether that's here, home by 11 with her mom, anywhere else her journey takes us. Here, I'm going to introduce Emma Klug.
Emma Klug.
That was long. Sorry.
No, I love it.
Sweet. Thank you.
Very kind to both of us. So let me just say, so Cori first brought this idea to me. She's like, "Hey, do you think does Emma have a summer job yet?" And I said, "No." And I thought, oh, maybe Cori wants her to watch the kids occasionally, and she's like, "Well, I'm thinking about asking her if she wants to be an organizer." And I was like, "Oh gosh, I've never really thought about that." And I will be honest with you. My very first thought was, I just want to make sure Cori and I are still friends at the end of this. And I didn't look, I see your face. Just hold on. The only reason is you just are like, okay, hey, this is combining business and personal and all the things. And what I love about this is that Emma did this totally on her own. I have not talked to her about one thing. I have not given her any advice. I have not, you have just done it on your own. And I think that's awesome. And I think it's a real testament to, hey, maybe pick some younger people to be on your team because it could bring you some new life and all that good stuff. So Emma, tell us a little bit about your experience so far. What has it been like this summer?
Yeah, so I don't know. I started the week after I got back. I settled in for, I think, 5 or 6 days, and then I started that next Monday. And yeah, I had, I think, one day of kind of shadowing on a bigger project. And then just the next week, I went in to a house in Shakopee, and it's been fun doing very different things. I think that's what I like most is that we do move-ins, pack-ups. I've done a lot of garages, closets. So yeah, just moving around the house.
What's been the most surprising thing to you?
Be honest. I'm an open book. You can say whatever you want to say. I don't think any of our clients are really listening.
They're not.
But the other organizers that are listening are going to be like, "Oh yeah. Yeah."
Yeah. I think my favorite is probably packing up and unpacking because you're working. Packing up, that's probably my favorite. It was fun just because it felt like you knew what you're doing. Sometimes when you're organizing a space, you kind of get surprised, but when you're packing up, you just kind of throw everything in a box. And unpacking, you get to have a blank canvas to work with.
Yeah.
To be clear, you're not throwing things in a box. You're
I'm not throwing
anything
in a box.
Yeah. So a few more details on that. So Emma came in. We were in the middle of a giant project for a professional athlete. This is her first training day. Welcome to professional organizing on steroids. Thank you.
Also, let me just weigh in really quickly before you tell your story. It's not often that someone's first day on an organizing job is a professional athlete home. That's a special experience.
Of a team I really cheer for. So I was just walking around.
Yeah. And also trying to stay professional at the same time.
Yeah, and I was like,
and it was absolute utter chaos that day. And you handled it so beautifully. I mean, we literally had client coming in on an airplane with 4 children. Whole house needs to be completely done and perfect as possible. We were literally to the point where we had to put duvet covers on, a bedspread. And I was like, I can't do this right now. And I looked at Emma and I was like, have you ever done duvet covers? She's like, I'm the best at duvet
He
covers. And
is.
I was like,
I have a
"Whoa."
trick.
So Emma made all the beds and we're doing this. So this is supposed to be her training, right? And it's just 5 of us there in complete kind of chaos to finish this by 3 o'clock so we can get out the door. Their plane's landing at 4 o'clock. They're coming in hot. It was pressure. And yes, we threw Emma into the fire and she did amazing.
She
Yeah, I
is.
thought that
No, go
day,
ahead.
like when we were in the basement and you were like, "Can you put a duvet cover?" I'm like, did my mom tell you?" I just thought that she had told you about my trick and that I make like when you have to put your duvet cover on, I have my little trick, and I was like, perfect.
She was made for duvet. She could have a whole business of just changing people's duvet covers, and she would make a lot of money.
I'm trying to decide if I should teach you or if I should gatekeep my trick.
You can't gatekeep. We don't do that. We don't do it at Pro Organizer Studio, and you can't do it. Yeah.
There's a-
It's pretty great. But I do think it's funny because you have had, so your first experience was professional athlete house. Crazy or not, that's a kind of a unique experience. But you have also had regular organizing experience.
Yeah.
I will tell you, my favorite thing about this summer for myself has been not only like obviously it's really fun to see, my daughter working for a good friend of mine and really enjoying it, but it has been extremely entertaining for me when Emma comes into my office at the end of the day and she's like, "Mom, this woman told us that she was ready to get rid of 50% of her things." And I'm like, "No, no, you don't need to finish. I already know." I go, "She got rid of 2 things today, didn't she?" She goes, "Yeah, how did you know?" And I'm like, "Oh, sweetie, that's how it works."
Well, that's the thing. I was like, Emma's in this, like, she's just getting these experience firsthand, which I think is important because these are all things that you do experience, right? You're going to run into this. And she got every single little nugget, I think, along the way, especially with the garages. And I think then we sent her to a basement next. So, basement, very different than a pro athlete house.
Mhm.
But, they're trying to go through everything in this basement. And again, yeah, the struggles of they don't know if they want to get rid of stuff. And then we're trying to make it look pretty. And it's a pretty steep learning curve. That's what I always say. We don't do a ton of training. We don't do a ton of shadowing because honestly, I think you learn the best when we just are like, hey, could you do this? And then you do it and you're like, oh, that was easy enough. We'll do it again. And then, you do it in the next project and it kind of grows on each other. So we like to do more hands-on, throw you into it kind of training. And like
Yeah.
Emma thrived with that. I think that was
Yeah.
great. What would you say was your least favorite part? I mean,
And you can be honest
you can
because
be honest.
we all have our least favorite parts.
Yeah, I think it's hard because I would probably say garages and storage areas just because I don't know. It's just boring and it's really dirty. The first garage I did, I forgot to bring a pair of gloves and I came and I was just like,
It's gross.
but but there's always fun parts of everything. Like the garages, the first when we did like my first day, I worked in the toy room and that was just fun because then you get to kind of like reminisce and being like, dang, these lucky little kids.
You did. Okay. So there was a garage. I will say there was a day that you came home and so Cori has she has a bunch of cute shirts, but you have one that is the life of a professional organizer, which is a play on Taylor Swift, life of a showgirl. And it's a super cute shirt. And you came home and I was like, you look like Pigpen from Charlie Brown. She was dirty from head to toe. And I was just like, every part of her was dusty and dirty and gross. And I'm like, oh, she's an organizer.
Yeah, that day was hard because we were working around a very nice expensive car that the owner did not want to move out of the garage. So we were just like,
Oh, I know that day. Yes.
yeah.
Well,
Looking
and then also
around,
I
like,
was personally glad that nothing happened to that car because then you're like, you have to work in a garage with a very expensive car and you're not going to move it. And what if you drop something on it? All that stuff.
yeah, I had to move a giant. The client was like, I want to put the pressure washer in that corner. And I was like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Please.
Please don't do that to me.
And I was like,
What surprised you about working with clients? Because you have had direct client contact this.
yeah, well, it sometimes surprises me how little they want to be involved, if that makes sense. They obviously always go through their stuff, but they usually are just like, go ahead, like not free for all, but I don't know. I feel like if I was doing that, I'd want to be a part of all of it. But yeah.
What's the most surprising thing that someone was like, "Yeah, I don't care about this." Did you have something that you were like, because I have that sometimes where I'm like, "Why don't you care about this thing?"
Yeah, there were a couple. A woman had fully new, like an aloe workout set, and it was like tags on, and she was just like, "Yeah, you can get rid of it." And I was like,
Yeah.
stuff like that, or the really nice Yeti coolers and stuff that people are like, "Yeah, I'm just not using it." But
Because now you've seen people's house and you've seen, I hate to say it, overconsumption.
hmm.
Does it change your viewpoint on shopping or buying things or purchasing habits?
Yeah, yeah, but I think it's hard because I don't buy our measuring cups. So
Right.
it's like there were a couple clients where she had three of the exact same spatula, and she was just like, I think I'm gonna keep them. And I'm like, why? You're only
I
using
had this
one at a
conversation
time.
yesterday, and it blows our mind because we're like, when people have duplicates of all this stuff, like, where's the why? And that's always you want them to understand that, but at the end of the day, it is their stuff, and we have to adhere to the client for
Yeah.
some, but we're like, if and then they ask, "Well, what's your opinion?" And I'm like, well, in my opinion, I'd get rid of 50% of this stuff.
My
We
opinion
were
is
talking
you
about
got too
this
much
yesterday.
crap.
Yesterday in the car when Corey and I were talking, I was like, I don't know, when clients say, "What do you think?" I'm like, if it were up to me, you'd be getting rid of all of it. So don't ask me.
I had a client one time who, like, in this category where we were doing a kitchen and it's a guy and he hadn't really cleared out his kitchen in a really long time. And, he and his wife were getting divorced and whatever. And I picked something up and I'm like, What is it?" It's very old fashioned. It was like an apple corer if you were going to make a pie from scratch. Okay. This was like from the 1960s. So he's asking me what it is. And then I tell him what it is. And he goes, "Well, I guess I should keep that." I go, "You didn't even know what it was until 30 seconds ago. Why are you keep?" I said, "Do you make a lot of apple pies, Bill?" And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "Exactly."
Yeah. I think one of the major struggles we've had this summer, and Emma, you've probably experienced this, is for type A person that we work with that cares a lot about the aesthetics, but then also doesn't want to get rid of anything, and then
Right.
also wants to control the entire situation.
Oh,
And then we can't perform the magic. And
Yeah.
that's probably the most frustrating. Well, I'm not speaking for you, but for me, that's frustrating. And I know it's frustrating for some
Yeah.
of our leads. We had some conversations this summer because they're like, we want to show them the magic and they won't allow it because they won't let go of control.
Right.
And then it's hard because, yes, it might be up to their expectation. And yeah, perhaps we perform to their level that they're expecting. But in our head, we're like, we could make this so much cooler and so much better if you just let us.
Yeah. There was a kitchen that we were doing, and it was unpack and organize, and they were downsizing, but they hadn't gotten rid of everything. And we were just like, there isn't room. There's nothing we can do. There's not enough space for anything. And they're like, we don't want anything on the counter. And I'm like, it's literally impossible.
Yeah.
that I think if I had to pick one thing that it just overarches a lot of organizing, it's absolutely a client not understanding. I always tell them this is a physics problem. I
Yeah.
can't make more space. I can't compress things. I am not magical like Harry Potter. There is
Yeah.
only a certain amount of space and a certain amount of things that fit in it. And people are like, "Well, why can't you just make it work?" I'm like, "Because I'm not a magician."
Also, this is something I decided that I think that when people build new houses, the architect or whoever designs the kitchen should have a professional organizer
Yes.
Yeah.
to look at it. Because I was in some kitchens that are like, who designed this? And thought it was a good idea.
Right.
Yep.
What?
It's a
Not,
$5 million house. This situation,
yeah,
if you're going to spend that kind of money, let's think
Yeah.
about it a little bit. Let's build the house with a little more intention.
hmm
That's a really good point. And I mean, I have worked with, there have been a couple times in my business that I have worked with either an interior designer or, a builder to try to do things. But again, a lot of times, even when you're working with a designer, they're like, they have an idea for their design.
Mhm.
They do not really care about what the function is. So they want it to look pretty. They don't care about its function. And then we care about the function.
Right. And we're like, well, what are we going to do with all this stuff? And then
Yeah.
it doesn't look pretty if we got all the things,
Yeah. I
That
do
is-
think that's a good point though, because I have also been in houses that are a $1 cajillion custom build houses, and I go, I don't have a place to put plates. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Right. And you go,
Exactly.
like you have a $60 trillion refrigerator, freezer, and you've got all this stuff, but I don't have a place to put forks.
Yeah.
Right.
So tell me about working with a team too, like your coworkers at Meat and Potatoes. You guys all seem to have a lot of fun together, and that's genuine.
Yeah. I have so much fun with like all the leads, and just sometimes I feel like we've gotten to the point, I mean, we work together a lot where sometimes something will be happening, we don't have to say anything, we just give each other the look and it's just like, what's going on? But
Yeah.
yeah, I remember one day, Corey, I don't even know if you know this, a client asked if I was Melanie's daughter.
You're like, no, I am somebody's daughter,
I'm
but
someone's
not.
daughter, not hers, but
And the other funny thing is that I think I've mentioned this before on the podcast, but my mom works for me or for us. And her and Emma got along really great because my mom does Olympic weightlifting still competitively at the master's level. And Emma did competitive weightlifting through high school. They bonded over that. And my mom's like, oh, Emma's just the best. We just get in there and we just work hard. And she's just the best. She like, oh my God.
Brenda is great. Brenda is
yeah.
absolutely
And
great.
I knew your dad before I ever even met you, because the Olympic weightlifting like community, high school Olympic weightlifting community is very small. Only 5 high schools do it. So we all kind of
knew each other.
This is a serious question. Did your weightlifting career, by the way, state champion weightlifter, just want to throw that in there as a bona fide, but was any part of it, all joking aside, it is a physical job. Did you have any times where you're like, oh, thank goodness, I've really been working out a lot, doing Pilates and all the things?
On Tuesday.
Yeah.
We were up in a garage that had ceiling storage. So it was a lot of lifting, happy I learned some good body mechanics.
Yeah.
Basically like doing a clean and jerk for every tote that's going up into the ceiling storage on a ladder too. So balancing while pushing something over your head.
I do think that was one of the most surprising parts to me, like when I first started organizing, is just the physical exhaustion of it. It is a physically hard job, and I think we don't give enough credence to that.
Yeah. And here in Minnesota in the summer, it's just humid, so humid. And when you're stuck in a dirty garage and you're drinking the air and you're just a mess and sweaty, I have to say that is not my favorite organizing. I'm cranky for 2 days after that and I'm tired. It's not ideal, but the side is, well, we're not going to do it when it's -20 outside.
Yeah.
So I guess we just kind of suck it up and do it when it's hot and humid and, take breaks, drink electrolytes, pack snacks, fans, whatever. But some days you're just like this, what are we doing here?
When I drive home from those kind of jobs, just angry.
You're just turning the AC up to -20.
Yeah.
My go to a client's house and they don't believe in air conditioning, and you're like,
I was just about to say,
I believe in air conditioning. Can we please?
Yeah.
You're watching this on YouTube. Emma's face just dropped because one of the best texts I got from her, she sent it to our family group chat. And she's like, hey guys, ask me what temperature the thermostat in this house is set to. 78. She was like, it was really hot that day inside that house.
Yeah.
And the funny part about that too is then the next day, the moving company calls me and goes, Cori, we've got all this person's stuff loaded in this truck and we're supposed to bring it to the next house. And they don't know if they're going to close on that house because they think the AC's broken. And I go, oh,
get out.
It's not broken. They just didn't use it. I said, turn the freaking thing down, have the inspector look at it. I'm like, they didn't even use the AC. I was like, turn it down. And I'm just afraid this isn't going to close. And I've got all these things in there, 2 trucks full. And I said, just calm down. I know the AC wasn't on yesterday and it was hotter than Hades.
Tell me about it.
And I'm
You're
like,
unhappy that day.
God, not only was like my team uncomfortable, but this 5 movers were like extremely uncomfortable and then worried that this house isn't going to close and the deal's going to fall through and all because of an air conditioner. And I'm like, people, just turn the AC on. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what has it changed your perspective at all on, I mean, I know Cori asked you about consumption, but your own organizing as you move, as you're getting ready to move back to college and you have a roommate, and did you learn any fun tricks this summer that you're going to take with you?
I think I'm being more mindful with my packing. I started packing and last year I just threw everything in bags as I was going. But right now my room is sorted. I have my clothes, I have my toiletries. It's all like pull out and sort. So then it's just easier for me to move in. So I feel like I'm just gonna be like a little more mindful, like where my stuff is. Like when the first kitchen I did, it was like, well, you want your cooking utensils closer to the oven. And I was like, it sounds dumb, but I genuinely would not have thought about it like that. You want stuff
In
where,
proximity.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
these are things we don't think about on a daily basis unless you're doing it every day. And we've done so many kitchens and we're like, oh, yep. So we would recommend doing this and this. And then you can see like when we have a new organizer or assistant or their eyes are like, oh, yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
let's go. So I just think, yeah, Emma, you did so great though.
I hired her for my own house too. So I said, if you're learning all these skills this summer, I'm like, I have some parts of our own house that need to be zhuzhed a little bit. And you've been doing a ton of cooking this summer. So you did a whole kitchen refresh, which was really good. And currently I was like, hey, could I just get you to do one more thing before you go back to college? So you're working on the storage room of doom with some of my stuff. So how is it being with me being a client?
Wait until you see the basement when you come home.
Is it good or bad?
Well, I don't want to get rid of your stuff. So it's just all everywhere.
It's just everywhere.
But you have done, I mean, it's been fun to watch you just take on a project. Like when you say like the client doesn't really want to be involved, it's funny. I have been that client for you. I'm just like, do what you want. I don't care. I don't care. I just want it to be better and different. Do whatever.
I think, yeah, and I've been trying to be my own client. I was going through my closet and I was like arguing with myself about some shirts and I'm like, but what if I want to wear it on a night in Iowa City? And I'm like, well, you didn't even wear it, not even one time last year.
Love it.
So I just have to fight with myself about it.
Having conversations with herself
Yeah.
now in our own head. Sorry, now you're going to be in your head about everything.
Yeah. And then I'm not going to bring that hoodie to college. And I'm like, if I'm not bringing it to college, why do I have it at all?
Yeah. Well, I love this all because, and I don't want to embarrass you, but when we first started, so I mean, I've told my story 100,000 times, but our house was always a complete disaster. We were super chaotic. And so when I read Marie Kondo's book, it really changed how I thought about my house. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I really want to get my house together, but I didn't force anyone else in the family to do it. Right. And Emma at the time was like 10. You were 10 or 11. And your room was like really bad. You could break a leg when you walked into Emma's room. And I didn't adjudicate like how rooms were. And I'm very much like, hey, you can have your room however you want it. But I remember there was a very distinct day that you came to me and you said, hey, mom, I don't want to be the only messy person in the house. And so I want to learn how to do this too. And that's when we did your room. We did a closet for, we redid your closet, got a Container Store closet, all that kind of stuff. And that was really, I think, the first time that you locked into of, hey, I would like to be a neat person too.
And I've noticed since then, especially now, I think the biggest thing that's changed this summer is that now I go into people's houses and I kind of not judge, but I'm just like,
you can judge a little bit.
This is not meat and potatoes approved kitchen right here. I don't know.
So I think my favorite comment that I've gotten this summer is when Melissa texts me that things are not meat and potatoes approved. And literally Emma could say anything she wanted and just be like, This is not meat and potatoes approved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did. It was when I asked her to do an organizing thing, and she goes, "This is not how meat and potatoes would do it." And I'm like, "Listen, girl, go do whatever you want."
His system is not meat and potatoes approved. I know,
What
but
what
I've been talking to my roommate this year in college, and I'm like, yeah, I've been working for professional organizing business, and my mom is a professional organizer, and our room is gonna look great when we move in. So Cami and I are very excited.
I love it.
Might have to
Well,
get a video. Might have to come make a weekend
oh,
party.
yeah.
Gosh, yeah, a
Oh, we can
party at
talk
the
come
sorority
down to
house.
Iowa City.
Meat and potato sorority house.
Meat and Potatoes organizes a sorority house.
Gosh, can you imagine?
It'd be so
Brenda would
great.
be out of control at a sorority house.
Like, Brenda would have so much fun.
Oh,
So funny story, I have to send Brenda. So we have a travel project next weekend in Florida for a client, and we have also an NHL player coming in. So we had to split the team. So half of us are doing the NHL project and half of us have to go to Florida. But the girls that are going to Florida aren't old enough to rent a car. So I had to send Brenda so she can rent the car
Oh, that's
and do the
hilarious.
project.
if I was going back to college, I would have begged you to let me go to Florida.
Yes, I know.
That is so funny.
So
Well,
who knows? Who knows?
but I mean, it is fair to say Cori does a lot of really fun projects. You have gotten to go into some very, very fun environments.
Yeah.
What was your favorite house you saw? I mean, you don't have to disclose the client, but give us a
I'm gonna drop first and last names on the blog.
We have code names for some people. Last night, Mother was texting. So those of you that are Taylor Swift fans, you know some people call Taylor Swift Mother. Well, we have somebody that we call Mother, and when Mother texts, you assemble.
You pay attention.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, you need to, I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know if you know who Mother is yet.
Think of I think of my favorite. There was like it wasn't like my favorite project, but there was a family that we had where I went there 3 or 4 days across 2 weeks, and they had two young daughters that kind of reminded me of myself. We reorganized their little art room, and it was really sweet going through stuff with it felt like a little younger me. She was like 11. So I really liked that one. And I have to be honest, I like going to really big, nice, rich people houses. It's fun.
Fancy houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so fun to see the inside of some of these homes and the things that the architects and structural engineers have thought of, whereas you've just never even seen anything like that before. And you're like, oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I like going to the Edina houses that are like they're old houses, but they did renovations and stuff, and it's really nice and cool.
For those of you not in Minnesota, Edina is a rich suburb.
It's the bougie. It's the bougie of the bougiest.
Yeah. Yes.
And it is fun though. I think a lot about, I've been in hundreds of houses and so has Cori. And it is really funny because there are so few, ultimately, even really beautiful, huge houses or like very, Minnesota, we're very lucky. We have a lot of different architecture, a lot of different styles. I have been in a lot of different kinds of homes, but the thing that I love is there aren't many homes that I really covet. There aren't a lot of times where I was like, "Oh man, I would drop everything. I'd get rid of my house right now and I would go move to this house." And so I think in a weird way, a lot of times organizing reminds me of I like what I have. I'm very happy with what I have.
Just having that thought the other day, we were leaving a $5 million place and it was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, amazing house. And I drove out to my house and was going down the driveway and I'm like, oh, I just like my own home so much.
Yeah.
And it's comfy for us and it's good for us, And so it's like, even though you appreciate those homes, there's something about coming home after a project and just being in your own space, your own routine, and being able to cook your own food the way you want to. Or
Yeah.
make a coffee.
And
Like,
yeah, and sometimes those giant houses don't feel like home. Like
Ugh.
that, I was in the one with the really nice car. I went inside and it was like massive kitchen, like living room, super nice stuff. And I was like, that couch doesn't look very comfortable.
Oh,
Like,
No, you can. In a lot of those houses, you don't have comfortable furniture. It's furniture that looks
maybe
nice.
your
Why
furnace
are
is so
people
big.
ever lounging on their furniture? Because, like, when I come home and I'm done with the day, I want my snuggly, cuddliest blanket on the cuddliest couch that I can,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
I
I just don't sometimes you just don't feel that in
like,
those houses.
I wouldn't trade our basement couch for the whole wide world.
No, it's the great couch. Cori also has, I know the couch Cori is talking about, and she has a very comfy couch. You know it too.
Oh, I
So,
know.
Yeah.
I know.
but
Fine.
yeah, I do think that there are houses like, especially I think a lot of the bigger houses is you're right. It does not feel like a home. It feels like a house. And those are two very different things.
Yeah.
I should have asked this earlier. Have you learned, I really like digging into the psychology of like why people are the way they are. Have you had any experiences this summer of seeing family, I don't want to say family dysfunction, but we walk into a lot of houses where you're like, oh, that husband and wife are really sniping at each other. And have you had some of those?
Yeah, for sure. And it's, well, I don't want to, I'm trying not to judge and being like, yeah, it's just sometimes, wow, you guys hate each other.
Yeah.
And there was a woman who was like surprised. We were reorganizing her husband's tool stuff, and it was like kind of a surprise for Father's Day. And I'm like, I'm scared that this is going to go south and I'm going to mess with his wrenches and he's not going to be happy with me. So that was, but I think he knew we were doing it, but I haven't seen anything crazy.
That's good.
Yeah. I think this summer has been a little bit more low key in the fights between husbands and wives or, spouses.
There was one, I'm just remembering, there was one, Corey, I'm sure you know what you're talking about, but they were moving into a house and their mom, the owner's mom,
Oh,
was
yes.
very
Like,
involved.
mom.
Very involved. That's a nice way to say it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
So we
You
would unpack things and organize them and try to do our magic as we were hired to do. And then the mother-in-law would come in and say, this is all wrong. You need to redo it all. There's no way my daughter would like this. Okay. So we redo it. Daughter comes in. I don't like any of this. You must redo it all. So we do
you
it
came
again.
home.
I
You
mean, this cycle kept going and
Yeah.
going. And again, this is a 10,000 square foot house. I'm like, we don't have time. We don't have time. You're wasting your money. You're wasting our efforts. What are we even doing here? That was the craziest tension in a household. And then the husband came home at the end of the day, looked at everything and said, I don't like any of this. Send it all back. Send it all back. Return all the product. So
It was the
I
product. Like,
drive in my truck. I go pick up all $2,000 worth of product, go return it all, just for them to then hire another organizer. And I queued in this organizer. Here's what they actually want, but they're like, we're not going to work with them anymore because they were treating us like crap. And I was like, I'm not sending anybody there anymore. And so she's like, okay. So other organizer goes in, cued in, knows exactly, okay, canvas bin has to be washable. There was some OCD, some things happening in this situation too. So she recommends all the things, gives a very elaborate proposal because she's like, yeah, I'm going to win this work. Signs up for 3 days, highest rate with this other organizer. Come the day before, calls and says, I don't need you anymore. I've ordered all the bins myself. You suggested I did it all myself and I want my money refunded.
I did not.
And I was like, whoa, red.
So glad I got out of
We
there.
are all out of this. We are done. Nobody is
Yeah.
going anymore. I mean, just disrespect. It happens, right? They don't understand our time, our money. I'm like, this other organizer has also booked out 3 days
Yeah.
to come to your house. And now you want your money back. You want your deposit back. And she can't book those days in 12 hours notice.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, how disrespectful.
No, it really is. And I think that's, there are a lot of people in this industry that don't understand what goes into. You're not canceling on, you're not canceling on a huge corporation. You're canceling on a small business. And there are team members that are relying on that income. There are business owners relying on that. What's that?
College students that need money.
Poor college students that need money. Oh, I feel so sorry for you.
No, so hard to be.
But yeah, so stuff like that happened too, where I think that project was a huge learning curve, I think, for all of us and a learning experience because we were all feeling like we did a bad job. And we were like, oh my gosh. Normally we come in and the team crushes it and people are excited and people are happy and you keep that momentum going. And as the leader, I always have to pull back and be like, take out the emotion. Yeah, that was killer, but here's what we're going to do a little bit better next time. Or like fine tune it, tweak it, give that, feedback. But in that project, I was like, listen, I think you all did everything you possibly could. And I don't know that we could have ever made them happy. And they're like, but we could have, Cori, we could have done this. And, we could have, the lead was like, Cori, we can go back there. We can save it. And then I said, I don't think we can. I just don't think we can. So we just need to leave that one and hope they pay the bill. So then they pay the bill and they're happy with what we had done. And I go, okay, we're just going to leave it for now. And then that other organizer comes in, has that experience. And I said, see, guys, no one was ever going to make that client happy.
No.
And sometimes, and that's a huge lesson, you can't always save everything. It doesn't always go the right way.
I think that's a good lesson for just life in general, honestly. I genuinely think like I love that Emma's had this experience this summer because as she goes into her second year of college and everything else, because I do think there are a lot of lessons about just life, interpersonal relationships, happiness or lack of happiness. I have had that thought so many times in my organizing life of I could do everything. I could be here for 24 hours a day. I can bring out every trick I have. I could buy all the product in the world and this person is never ever going to be happy. And that is a them problem. It's not a me problem.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunately, that's life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's hard because people obviously, there's a lot that I feel like the team can do to make everything look good. But with that one, it was like, we don't want product. And I'm like, I can't make your laundry room look beautiful and really nice like you want it to if I don't have clear bins to put things in. It's gonna look like there's a lot we can do, but we're not like miracle workers. Your kid's craft room isn't gonna look really nice if you don't have or organizing and storage solutions and products. It's a balance. It's not gonna look as good as you want it to.
Tell them about our experience yesterday. So
Oh yeah. This is funny. Yeah, this would
So,
be a good
we had
last story.
we had a past client who was, how do I explain it? Kind of creepy. And I had gone there first for a consultation by myself. And while I was in the consultation, I realized I shouldn't be there by myself. But so when I sold the project initially, we did a little piece in his house and I sent 2 people for 3 hours for something that maybe took an hour for one person, right? So, I mean, overkill because I was like, I'm not sending anybody there alone. So then, of course, he loves what we do. He loves their company. And then he sends me an email. I really want you to come back and do a consultation. But this time, I want you to come to my house. But then I would like to take you to my storage unit. And I'm
Oh.
in my head like Dexter, like thinking about, storage units and what happens to people when they go into, I don't know. I was like, I'm not going to this consultation by myself. So Emma had the morning off a project. I was like, okay, so you ready to go on a little field trip? I need you to come with me to a consultation. We're going to this guy's house and then we're going to his storage unit. She's like, okay.
And I said, so she told me about this and Cori wants me to go on it. She was really blunt. She goes, Cori wants me to go on a consult with her because the guy is creepy. And I'm like, listen, my money's on you guys. I'm not even worried. I am not concerned about sending my kid into a creepy because you and Cori would take care of business.
Tim was worried. Tim was going to come with and wear his security guard.
Yes.
Tim was very worried, but I do think after Emma, do you think we could have taken this guy?
Oh, yes.
You were like,
He
nah, it's
actually
fine.
made us open the garage door to the storage unit because he wasn't strong enough to do it.
Oh, yeah. I was not concerned then.
But so the other funny piece, we're in there and he's asking us about his art. He's an artist and it's, organizing his art supplies. And could we talk about rearranging my furniture? And it's just a bachelor, pad. And Emma and I are like, maybe a few accent chairs and move your couch over here. And we get in the car and Emma's like, I didn't know what to say. I don't know what to say. And I'm like,
I was like, I'm trying to act like my presence here is useful at all in this
Yeah,
conversation.
I'm like, she's
I'm,
just
I'm,
with me.
I'm trying to act like there's a reason for me to be here other than he's weird. Like I'm trying to add, but I'm just standing there.
It was hilarious. And then so then we go to this storage unit and he's like,
Outdoor,
I
thank
have
goodness.
another guy who's gonna meet us at the storage unit. And I'm like, he's calling in backup because he saw there's two of us. So he's bringing another guy to meet us at the storage unit. So we drive over to the storage unit and, I didn't know what to expect. And he unlocks the thing and then he asks us if we'd open it. And I'm like, well, opening the gates to us being gone forever. We opened up the storage unit and it wasn't, too bad. And then all of a sudden the guy pulls up and the guy that was meeting us there, he was a junk hauler, thank God. And he was the sweetest guy.
Oh, great
Just
guy.
super nice. And when we were leaving, he's like, I didn't know about this one from the phone call. It seemed a little odd. And I go, why do you think I'm here with another person? He's like, you're smart. So everyone kind of got that vibe. So then I didn't feel so
That's
bad.
funny that if the junk hauler, I mean, the guy is a junk hauler, right? This is what he does for a living. He's probably been some weird places. And if he's like, yeah, this guy was odd.
Yeah. And he was
This
great though. He's like,
boy.
I'll put some shelves up and we'll do this. We'll hang some stuff from the ceiling for you. And I'm like, great, keep doing all of that. We don't want to do any of that. Like all this heavy lifting and hard stuff. So yeah, we made it. We got back in the truck and we were like, oh, thank God.
Well, the funny part was I had texted both of you yesterday because I'm traveling. I had texted both of you and I was like, "Hey, good luck today." And I did say my money's on you, and Cori said, "Well, my money's on us too." But then after Emma texted and she goes, "Well, we made it out," and I'm like, "How am I supposed to know this is really you? Maybe it's just the guy with your phone." I was like, "We need it. We didn't have a word.
Proof
We
of
needed a
life.
code word." We needed some sort of safety code word.
Yeah. So yeah, Emma's seen it all this year. She's been on projects, consultations, big projects, little projects, dirty projects, clean projects. I
Love it.
mean, I don't
I
know.
love it.
That's
Well, are you glad that Cori reached out? What if she had never asked me?
I don't know. I'd probably be working at Starbucks this summer or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Also, just for the record, this is a good summer job for a college student. You did very well this summer. I see your bank account and it's quite nice.
Well, after Lollapalooza, I'm not sure about that, but
Well, whatever.
Well, I think too, obviously organizers, we all need some seasonal I mean, summer can get really crazy and just having somebody who's young and, happy, positive, and it's not crazy. We try not to make the assistant organizer position crazy, right? It's like, here's the address. Show up at the address at the time. We'll tell you what you need to do. And then when you go home at the end of the day, don't even think about this anymore. You're done. We try to make it as easy as possible. We typically work 9 to 3. So it's like you could still go out with your friends. You could still go to the gym. That's the goal, right? And also, we pay our organizers to take away donations. Our assistant
Yeah.
organizers, if they wanna make extra bucks, they can take the donations away from the day, and I give them an extra hour. We try to make it helpful for everyone, and yeah, I think if there's other organizers out there that are busy in the summer, look into hiring a college kid or a teacher
Absolutely.
or
Well, I will tell you that early on this summer, and I have the text to prove this, I have the receipts. Emma said, "Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Cori pays me to take donations away." And she goes, "But I'll take your donations for free." And I go, "Oh yeah, you will. Yeah. You're not charging me to take donations, ma'am."
Oh my
And they're
yeah, I'm excited to go back to school, but I had a lot of fun. It's just nice to have something flexible and the timing is perfect for me because I do stuff with my friends all the time. So it's
Yeah,
just
I mean, that's a good point is if you would have gotten a normal, like a normal teenage summer
yeah,
job, you might be working at Target at 10 o'clock at night. Like the
right.
hours for organizing are really generally pretty good. You guys did have one day though where I was like, did Emma get kidnapped or something? And
That
you
was
were
our
in the house
packing.
for 12 hours, I think.
It was
Yeah.
like I feel like it was 9. We were there until it was 9 to 6. So it was 9
Oh,
hours.
I thought it was longer than that, but you
I
were there.
I love that you said you like packing though, because there's a few people on the team that don't like packing, and I personally love to
I
pack.
love
I
it.
love it. I really liked it. Yeah, that was my favorite.
I don't have to think. I just
Yeah. Exactly.
You just put headphones in, you're just like jamming, you're doing your
Yeah.
job. You don't have to ask questions. It's so straightforward and you can just be in your own world. It's so great.
That would have been my favorite day if the AC was working, but it's okay.
Indeed, it was not. And we
Yeah.
ended the AC.
Yeah, I remember I was packing up their pantry and there was just one moment where I just stood there for 30 seconds, just like,
You got it, girl.
yeah. And I was I remember that day I was so delusional. We did the whole basement together. There was me and two others, and we had packed up the basement. So we had to do the basement, the kitchen, and then their closets and guest bedroom stuff. And we had finished the basement, I think, in 2 hours. And then we got up to the kitchen and I was like, yeah, this will probably take us an hour and then we'll go to lunch. The kitchen took 5 hours. I just like wasn't
Right.
through the wrapping, all that stuff. Yeah.
Kitchens really take an insane
Kitchens
amount
are
of
hard.
time,
Oh,
and they're
yeah.
overlooked. And I tell the clients it all the time. Let's book at least 6 hours in your kitchen, and if we don't need it, we'll all go home. It
Yeah.
always takes 6 hours.
Always. Even just a pantry. I mean, like it's a stunning amount of time.
Oh, those are my favorite.
I know. You're good at a pantry. You
Emma,
make it hard.
who is your favorite person on the team? I'm gonna
Oh,
I know. That's the juicy details.
No. Oh my gosh. Well, I feel like I've worked the most with Melanie. So we've worked a lot, but also Liv, I feel like because we're like buddies. Because she's not that much older than me. Right?
Yeah, she's 24.
yeah.
Not quite old enough to rent a car.
Right. She's close though.
She's cool.
I actually love everyone. And of course, Brenda and I get
Yeah.
it the best. But I loved everybody.
You have a great team. I mean, I've spent time with Cori's team too, and they are like genuine. I'm not just saying this; they're just genuinely good people, which is great. Well, so one last question. This is a genuine question though, because it has come up in Inspired Organizer a few times. There are people that are like, "Oh, I'm thinking about hiring a high school student to help out, but do clients ever balk at who's this person coming to my house?" Have you had anyone question you about your age or anything like that?
No, clients will ask like how old I am, or well, it's mostly how long have you been working, like doing organizing, and I was like, oh, I started this summer. I'm a college student, so that's how it usually goes. Or they often ask her like, is this a full-time or a part-time thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, they always want to know like how long somebody has been like I find that they ask that question a lot. And if you're not prepared to give a good answer, you could feel like, oh, I've only been doing it. However, that being said, I tell people too, I'm like, people aren't working on my team that aren't good and I don't love them. You are going to get good people. This one client was kind of a pain in the butt and she's like, I don't want you to send me any dirty people. And I said, man, I don't hire dirty people. All
dirty people
are professional, clean. They will knock it out of the park. It was a whole host of issues with that.
That's a wild statement right there.
What do you think is the first thing I do when I get home after being in people's houses all day?
Yeah, you put those clothes in
Shower.
the dryer or in the washer, and then you go upstairs and take a shower immediately.
And my mom will neti pot right after too, because she's like, the smell of their house is in my sinuses.
Oh, that is really smart. I never even thought of that.
And yeah, so like sometimes it's not always, but yeah, sometimes you need a little neti pot after. But yeah, people ask me that, I'd be like, how long are these? But I also background check everybody too. So even Emma had to have a background check before she started. And if they want to see the proof, I send it to them. But they do ask
all my felony charges.
Well, the good news is all of her felonies were as a juvenile, so they're all sealed.
So they're
you just didn't find them.
Time.
Yeah.
Tim was watching
her multi-state crime spree with a father in law enforcement.
Don't worry about it.
It's fine.
Oh my God. Yeah. But yeah, a mistake that I made too the first day, I totally forgot how young you were. And I might have sent you home with a bottle of tequila and wine that was very fancy from a client that just needed to get rid of it. And then I got in the car and I thought, oh, Melissa is going to kill me.
Absolutely not. Melissa doesn't really care that much. Melissa's also an organizer.
Oh, what did I do? Oh my God. There's been a few times when things have happened and I've thought, Melissa is going to kill me. I have her daughter. She's going to kill me when she finds out what happened.
Inaccurate. I will say,
I came home and Dad goes, where'd you get a bottle of Casamigos? And I was like,
I don't know. Corey, I will take this out if you want me to, but I think it was it was early on in this summer, and Corey texted me and was like, "Hey, ask Emma to tell you about the cocaine." And I was like, "Wow, she's really starting out with a bang." And I go, "Well, great news. She's keeping confidentiality. She didn't tell me that."
No, I mean, it happened.
Yeah.
It and you know what? It might happen to you if you work in a fancy suburb with kids that have lots
Yeah.
of money and
Rich,
parents that
crazy rich
let 'em
kid.
run wild.
Yeah. Well, Emma, first of all, I'm so thrilled, like genuinely thrilled that my daughter and my really good friend got to spend time this summer. I'm so glad it worked out. I'm glad that everybody's happy. And I think you got some awesome experience this summer. And we just want to tell people, open up your mind to, it's not about age. It has not, by the way, you can have a 50-year-old with tons of life experience who isn't a very good team member and a 19-year-old who doesn't have much life experience who's great. It's not the age, it's the person. And so open yourself up to some possibilities. You may have someone really great out there.
Yeah, and we're like sponges, so I think really, yeah, I don't know. I was going somewhere and I lost my train.
You learned a lot. You're open to learning, I think is
Yeah,
trying to go.
yeah. I feel like, yeah, college, this is a really good job for a college student or even high school. I would have done this. Well, I guess it's harder because school, sports, but even winter break, I'll be hitting your line, Corey, when I'm back.
Yeah. Well, you're always welcome to come help us out if you would come. If you feel like you want to come back,
Yeah.
you're always welcome to come back to us. And, that's the beauty of also she's an independent contractor, so she can sit around
Yeah.
the table with me and she can tell me, Corey, I have this week open. What you got for me? And we can try and fill her up. So there's a beauty in that little piece of it too.
And then my next goal for world domination is maybe seeing if she wants to be a little entrepreneurial and do some organizing when she's in Iowa City. We'll just see how it goes. TBD. Turn her into a little entrepreneur
I mean,
for her
I'm sure she'll
future.
have plenty of time being pre-med.
Yeah, no, she's got tons of time. She's not busy.
All the time in the world.
Yeah, she's great. Well, thank you guys for being here today. It was so fun to talk to you. This was so fun. And
This
Emma,
was
I'm
fun. Thank you for
excited.
most amazing summer, and I'm glad you gave organizing a chance because you're good at it, and we needed you, and you crushed, like totally crushed.
And now we can make your dad jealous that you've been on the podcast before him. So there you go.
What does he have to talk about?
I mean, who knows? So we'll find out. I will have him on
this morning that we should have Hazel on the podcast.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Hazel should have been on.
yeah, Hazel would have been a great podcast guest. My dog that I got from a client who was downsizing dogs. She's an organizing dog.
She
She's
really
an
is.
organizing
Oh my
dog.
gosh.
And that was when Melissa didn't have any boundaries.
That's right. Yeah, Melissa's just taking dogs from
Didn't
clients.
we have a podcast
whatever.
about that too?
Yeah, we did.
And you end up with a dog.
Yes, correct. But she's the
But
best.
she's yeah, I think that was meant to be.
She was the best donation ever.
for real. Yes.
But she knows I've been packing for college and she stayed in my room.
Yeah, she knows.
Oh,
It's really
yeah, just
sad.
poor Hazel. She's gonna be sad.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be sad too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss
It's gonna
you.
be quiet again.
That's right. What am I gonna do?
We're all gonna miss Emma.
Or
We can just
right.
wallow in it.
Yes, we can all miss Emma together. I love it. Well, thank you guys for being here today. I appreciate it.
Thanks for doing this and great to chat.
I hope you enjoyed hearing a little bit about Emma and Corey and their summer. Seriously, you guys had so much fun when she would come home from work and tell me her stories. So I just really want to encourage you, think about hiring a great teenager because obviously I'm biased. I like my kid, but there are some great teenagers out there who are actually really, really good organizers. So hope you got a lot out of this. Remember, please go to proorganizerstudio.com/links for some fun stuff this week. And as always, I'm here for you. hello@proorganizerstudio.com if I can ever be of service. Have an awesome week, organizers.